Oh, we're back. It's the Elysabeth Alfano Show on WCGO. My gosh, I wish I had more time with Robby Barbaro and Cyrus Khombatta. They are the authors of the New York Times bestselling book, Mastering Diabetes. 11% of Americans have diabetes. Most of that is type 2 diabetes. Did you know that it is indeed reversible with lifestyle changes, changes? You can get control of your type 2 diabetes and also manage your type 1 diabetes. It's such hopeful information. If we go long today, and for sure we will, absolutely get the Awesome Vegans podcast. It's on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. It's everywhere. So we're going to get into some details that you're not hearing on radio. So you definitely want to get the follow-up to this interview. Get it on Awesome Vegans. Okay, so we have a tip section here. And we were talking about we really want a whole food, carbohydrate rich, but whole food plant-based diet to manage your diabetes. Keep that a low fat diet as well. So that's the general understanding of what we've been talking about to master your insulin resistance. You guys give me your top 10 tips for managing your blood sugar.
Okay, so I think you're looking for tips for people who want to see excellent blood glucose control. Is that what you're saying here?
Yes.
Like, let's say you're type 2, you want to just completely get rid of diabetes. You can do that. If you're type 1, you want to have steady blood glucose control. You want to lower your A1C. We'll tell you exactly how to do that, okay?
Hit it.
Step 1, Cyrus just went over the saturated fat, okay? Number 1, you got to limit the amount of saturated fat in your diet, all right? Number 2, again, because we want to give people very detailed, actionable information, and that is why the Master Diabetes method works so effectively, all right? Number 2, you have to be aware of the amount of unsaturated fat that you are consuming. So yes, nuts and seeds, avocados, coconut meat, olives, soy products like edamame, they're healthy, they're delicious, they're nutritious. We want them to be a part of your diet. You just have to be aware of how much you're having, because when you have too much, you're going to have a hard time losing your weight you want to lose. You're going to have a hard time controlling your blood glucose levels, and that is essential. So I will throw it to Cyrus for tip number 3.
Okay, tip number 3 is we don't want to tell you what not to eat necessarily. We want to tell you what to eat. So like Robby said earlier, okay, your best friends when living with diabetes are, number 1, fresh fruit. I know it may sound weird. Why the heck would Cyrus and Robby tell you to eat fruit? Because fruit's going to cause your blood glucose to go up. The answer is fruit will only cause your blood glucose to go up if you are living in an insulin resistant state. But if you reduce insulin resistance, doing exactly what Robby was just saying, then fruit becomes available to you and you can eat it in very large quantities. Number 1. So fruit is your best friend. No questions asked. The 4th tip I would give you is I want you to eat starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes and butternut squash and yam and things that grow in the ground. Turnips, parsnips, rutabaga, you name it. All of that stuff that's really starchy is a phenomenal time release carbohydrate that keeps you full and helps limit blood glucose excursions. The next tip I'll give you is to consume legumes, beans, lentils, and peas, especially chickpeas, because I'm addicted to those things. Okay, beans, lentils, and peas are a phenomenal source of calories. They are also incredibly nutrient dense. They got all types of vitamins, minerals, fiber, water, antioxidants, you name it. And then the next tip I will give you before I throw it right back to Robby is whole grains. Eat a lot of whole grains. Okay, when we're talking about whole grains, we're talking about things like quinoa and brown rice and millet and farro and spelt and buckwheat. Okay, these types of grains that have not been processed significantly can really help keep your blood glucose under control. And they're also incredibly nutrient dense, and they will actually help you reverse insulin resistance like we've been talking about.
Okay. We're on to tip number 7. We got 8 tips for you. I got 2 more. Okay.
Okay.
Number 7 is simple movement. Just start to walk. If you incorporate walking into your life on a consistent basis, you will see improvements in your blood glucose control and your A1C and your energy and your weight. It's really simple. And you start increasing it as you gain confidence and you find fun activity to do. Tip number 8 is get some sleep. Finish your dinner early so you can get to bed early and try and get 8 hours a night. And that's going to help you improve your overall health, including your blood glucose control.
Can I add a tip 9 and 10, even though I'm not a
Please.
mastering diabetes?
Please.
Try to eat on the earlier side. Try not to eat right before you go to bed. I can't really comment if that affects your diabetes numbers or not, but
It does.
it's okay. Well, then try not to give yourself lots of calories, fat, carbs, food, sugars, all these things that are great for you because you do need them to live, of course, but not right before you go to bed. And then I will say, to the extent possible, you can go to my website, elisabethalfano.com/recipes. I'm sure Robby and Cyrus have them as well. Try to cook your own food. The best way that you're going to have control over what you eat is if you're making it yourself. So you're not pouring in 7 tablespoons of olive oil, which I love olive oil. I'm Sicilian, but you're controlling your oil. You're not overdoing it on the processed things. Lots of times I read labels. Of course, we all have to read labels. That should really be tip number 11. But sometimes I feel like I even wonder if they've told me everything that's in this thing. My doubt level is high. So to the extent that you can even make your own beans, I mean, you don't have to go that crazy if you don't want to. Of course, beans are in cans all over the place, but the more you are familiar with your food and where it comes from, the better it is for you. Okay, well, I have loved having you guys here, and I love these top 10 tips, and it's so helpful for everybody. I wonder if you could say, just on your way out, if there is a phrase you say to yourself to get yourself back on the wagon if you ever fall off the whole food plant-based diet scenario.
I know Cyrus's phrase. You want me to say it for you?
Oh, yeah. Say it.
This is Cyrus's, the best quote the guy's ever come up with. When in doubt, eat more mangoes.
That's exactly right.
That's
That simple.
That's why your Instagram is Mango Man Nutrition. I think.
Yeah,
Do I have that right?
That's
Yes.
exactly right. Yep.
That's so wonderful.
Absolutely addicted, not bashful.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you both for all that you do and for helping people. I want to show you again the book here on Facebook, but also for radio. Mastering Diabetes is the New York Times bestselling book by Cyrus Khombatta and Robby Barbaro. And of course, you can always go to masteringdiabetes.com. They do have a program. So it's not just the book where you're reading to educate yourself, which is of course so wonderful, but they do have a program that you can follow and you can sign up with them. Clearly, they know what they're talking about. But the most exciting thing here is that you can take control of your life and you can take control of your health. And that's really the most important thing. And it's not so hard. It doesn't mean going to the doctor and standing in line and getting an appointment and getting a prescription. It means eating the things you already love. Sweet potatoes. Come on, correct me if I'm wrong. Who doesn't love sweet potatoes? Get your hands on some sweet potatoes. Get an air fryer and get your hands on some sweet potatoes and go to town. That's all we're saying here. If for some reason this isn't enough, and this has given you so much, but there's also my class on August 8th. I hope everyone will sign up. It is at elisabethalfano.com/recipes, and it is Jumpstart Your Plant-Based Life. It's going to be on August 8th, and I just hope everybody will join in, and I hope that you'll also get the Mastering Diabetes book. And if you don't have diabetes, but you know someone that does, this is the gift to get for them. Robby and Cyrus, thanks so much for being with me today. I super appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Thank you, Elizabeth. Your energy is infectious, and I totally appreciate your ability and your desire to want to get the word out to your audience. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I love you both. Everybody on WCGO, I will see you next week.